Beamtendeutsch, wie früher der Adel. Der hochgestecktes Adelsdeutsch, um sich besser zu fühlen, den ganzen Normalen hat's genervt. Die Artbestechung nehme ich auch an. Alter, her damit, nimm mich voll.
What's all this? Some broken planks and barrels, as well as some liquor bottles?
Achso, ja, und kurz zu Beamtendeutsch. Ich möchte jetzt hier auf jeden Fall nicht von Steuern anfangen. Also Steuererklärung auf Elster und sonst irgendwas. Du, wenn du eine neue Zeile hast und willst dir die Hilfe anschauen, wo dann halt ein Text steht, um dir zu erklären, was du da machen sollst. Am Ende verstehst du noch weniger wie vorher, weil da einfach... Das ist keine Hilfe. Und jetzt höre ich auf, weil sonst wird es zu viel.
Yes, but
Weiter.
have a closer look, Paimon. Even though somebody has purposefully tried to clean them up, these are obviously marks from musket bullets. In other words, someone was here trying to improve their shot. They were using the barrels and bottles for target practice.
Could it have been the killer?
Your guess is as good as mine. Although many people at Fleuve Sandra own guns, few hide the fact from others. And even fewer would go to such lengths to hide markings from practice shots. Anyway, let's go. There might be more to this.
Halt eins noch zu steuern. Deswegen danke an jeden YouTuber, der die Steuererklärung per Video nochmal durchgeht. Super.
Paimon feels like we managed to learn a lot more here than up on the surface.
Vor allem, weil die sich mit dem Scheiß auch auskennen.
Yes. Assuming that everything we found is indeed connected to our suspect, then their timeline was probably something like this. A month ago, our suspect found a gun and took it home to disassemble it. Once he'd figured out its mechanics, he brought it back. In the following weeks, he used some parts to create his own makeshift musket and took it to the Fleuve Sandra for target practice. Then, a few days ago, he found his target and carried out the murder. Once the deed was done, he left a rainbow rose on the body, just like the scene in the novel.
That all makes sense to Paimon, but we're still no closer to figuring out the killer's identity.
Über den Gestorbenen.
The deceased was a resident of Fleuve Sandra. It's said that he was a poor, solitary man.
Das Opfer im Roman war jedoch ein Adliger. Nein, das Opfer im Roman war erstmal die Mutter, oder? Oder sind die anderen auch gemeint? Egal.
Yeah, that's also something I'm trying to figure out. If we are indeed following the novel, and there's a story behind the murder, then this murder should be an act of vengeance. But according to our investigation, the deceased didn't have any enemies. He was no saint, but no one's heard of a rival who hated him enough to shoot him dead. Much less care to leave a rose on his body. What message is the killer trying to convey? And to whom exactly?
Könnte es der Romanautor sein?
We've thoroughly investigated that possibility. He claims to have spent the whole day at the Opera House on the day of the murder, and the staff there have confirmed his account.
Okay, so he has an alibi.
Not only that, he lacks a credible motive as well. He has a family of his own, and both of his parents are still alive. I've looked into his records. He was adopted at the age of 6, and all the proper procedures were followed. There are also records of him at an orphanage before then. In the story, the mother of the 2 musketeers was murdered after the children turned 10. Of course, he could have changed the children's ages, but I don't want to assume anything without evidence. More importantly, I've also had a chat with him in person. He didn't seem like the kind of person who would pull the trigger to kill a man.
Then, what should we do now? We have all this new information, but it doesn't help us move forward.
Investigations take time. I didn't expect us to catch the culprit in just a single day.
Hey, das kennen wir in Genshin aber anders.
How about this? Let's spend the next few days filming with the crew. We can continue the investigation once we're done with the film. I'm sure that given time, new leads will present themselves.
Wait, but weren't you saying Intel is like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea just a moment ago? Wouldn't you just miss them if you were to stop looking?
Ah, but the book had more than one reference to the islands, Paimon.
Oh? What else did it say then?
As long as you spend enough time sailing through the fog, you'll eventually come across an island.
Fiktion und Realität innerhalb und außerhalb des Rahmens. Abgeschlossen. Wie lange schon mich mit Vereinsgesetzen auseinanderzusetzen. Ich bin eine niemand der Steuererklärung machen muss. Ich sag's mal so, mittlerweile habe ich jetzt 3 oder 4 Steuererklärungen gemacht, weil muss ich ja. Ich meine, ich habe ja... Ich verdiene hierher Geld, ich muss ja das machen mit kleinen Unternehmer und so ein Scheiß. Es ist mittlerweile, es ist ja eigentlich nicht so schwer. Das Problem ist, wenn diese kleinen Besonderheiten kommen. Das heißt, wenn du irgendeine Versicherung, die du hast, hast du irgendwie eine Versicherung aufgelöst und Geld bekommen. Oder so Zeug. Oder halt jetzt halt, du musst ja dann auch, wenn du Kleinunternehmerregelungen und das ganze Zeug hast, musst du dann auch angeben, was hast verdient, was hast ausgegeben und sonst irgendwas. Und das hier habe ich jetzt zum Beispiel dann auch Arbeitszimmer mit angegeben, weil ja das ganze Zimmer im Prinzip darauf ausgerichtet ist, dass ich mir mal Zeug mache. Klar, ich habe hier die Regale stehen mit dem Zeug, aber hier ist im Prinzip der PC, wo ich mal Aufnahmen mache, Streaming. Da drüben ist der Tisch für die Figurenauspackung und Unboxing. Da habe ich mittlerweile einen Tisch aufgebaut, Schnauze. Einen Tisch aufgebaut, wo ich dann meine Bearbeitungen mache, weißt du, sagt's mal, Bastelsachen und so Zeug. Und da habe ich mir gedacht, gut, gibst du das als Arbeitszimmer an. Dann hat es erstmal einen Monat wieder gedauert, bis irgendwas kam. Dann haben sie mir gesagt, ey, die brauchen jetzt einen Mietvertrag und keine Ahnung was nicht alles. Dann muss das wieder raussuchen und das mit angeben und ach, was weiß ich, was nicht. Und das Allerbeste ist das, wenn wir jetzt eh schon bei Steuern, bei dem Steuerzeug sind. Ich wollte eigentlich nicht so viel drüber sagen, Alter, was ist los? Dann habe ich alle Sachen eingescannt, was die haben wollten von mir. Hab sie versucht auf Elster hochzuladen. Also die Steuererklärung von den Steuerfuzis. Die Steuersoftware. Ja, sie nehmen nur PDF. Denke mal, wow, jetzt habe ich alles auf JPG. Durchs auf PDF umwandeln. Google, PDF-Umwandler. Kommt das erste, willst du es umwandeln? Habe ich alle reingezogen, dann hat er das umgewandelt, hat eine Seite draus gemacht. Denke, oh fuck, Alter. Wieder zurückgegangen, neu geladen, wollte eins umwandeln. Ja, jetzt müssen sie entweder was kaufen oder eine Stunde warten. Google, PDF umwandeln eingegeben. Oh, da ist von Adobe, die wo ja das mit dem PDF alles machen. PDF-Umwandler draufgegangen, eins wieder reingelegt, umgewandelt. Will das zweite reinlegen? Oh ja, sie sollten ein Abo abschließen, um das zu machen. Oh. Also ich habe eine halbe Stunde gebraucht, bis ich das alles hatte. Weil ich dann endlich mal einen gefunden habe, der wo das dann auch gemacht hat. Und da musste es dann jedes einzeln reinladen. Ja, eigentlich ist es ganz einfach. Du schmeißt es in ein Programm und lässt es alles umwandeln. Aber die wollen das halt nicht, weil die halt Geld dafür wollen. Ich meine, ich kann es einerseits verstehen, aber so ein... Geh jetzt hin so den Steuerberater? Nein, ich gehe nur die Steuermeckerer. Wo muss ich eigentlich hin? Achso, bis 8 bis 10 warten. Deswegen bin ich froh, dass man für die Steuer, bis man die Steuer machen muss, immer bis zum September oder Oktober.
It's filming time again. Our schedule is jam-packed for the next couple of days too. We've got so many different locations and sets to cover.
Trick 17, das JP.
Anyway, let's head out and meet up with the others.
JPG ein Word-Dokument und dann das Word-Dokument in PDF speichern. So habe ich es mit dem Arbeitskram von meinem Bruder gemacht. Ist vielleicht auch eine Möglichkeit. Wobei es ja schon mal gut ist, dass ich das denen nicht als sagt's mal, nicht als Fax noch schicken muss. Wobei, das kann man wenigstens über E-Mail machen. Warte mal, gehen wir mal erst hin, bevor ich hier saufen anfange. Also, normales Trinken. Steuerberater bin ich zu geizig. Rosenmusketen tragten die einsame Insel betrachtet durch den Nebel. Meine Eltern brachten mir bei, mach keine Steuererklärung, solange du nicht wirklich musst. Finde also Untersuchung des Verbrechens machen am folgenden Tag stetige Fortschritte.
Good work, everyone. We're looking to wrap with our two main ladies today. I can already smell our success.
What do you mean, looking to wrap?
Es bedeutet, wir beenden das Training in der letzten Szene. Es bedeutet, die Dreharbeiten sind damit vollständig finalisiert. Hä? Das war's jetzt? Verarscht ihr mich jetzt? Ich dachte, wir machen dieses Minispiel mehrfach. Eigentlich machen wir gar nichts.
Oh, aren't you the expert now?
This upcoming scene is the two musketeers' final confrontation with the Baron. There will be quite a bit of action, but no choreography beyond what we've already rehearsed. Anyway, get ready. Lights, camera, action!
Wie macht ihr das eigentlich nur mit einer Hand? Ist das ein
The
Drehknopf?
view is beautiful tonight. It reminds me of that fateful night 10 years ago. And now that I've said it, I can even make out the faint fragrance of herbal tea in the air.
Enough, villain! It's time that you pay for the death of our mother!
Tut mir leid.
My dear Iris, have you forgotten your manners? How can you speak like this to your own father?
I'd sooner swallow all of my teeth than call you father.
What did I expect? Seems the daughters have turned out to be just as obstinate as their foolish mother. In this world, mora and status is everything. She thought she could blackmail me using her children and force me to grant her recognition and concessions? Ah, how naive can a woman be?
Mother never asked a single thing of you. All she wished was for us to live a peaceful life, just like the others.
It was you who personally brewed the poison of prejudice and sent Mother to her death. Compared to that deadly poison, the 2 bullets that will soon pierce through your heart will be like sweet mercy.
And that's exactly why I said you're just as naive as her. Did you really think 2 muskets would be enough to defeat me? So let's see. What is stronger? Mora and power, or the 2 muskets in your hands?
Dem ist bewusst, dass die den jetzt einfach erschießen können. Der steht vor denen.
Get them!
Warte, was?
Tulip! There are too many of them!
Nein, eigentlich sind sie
You'll
schon
be
so gut wie tot.
We'll cover each other, Iris.
Hä?
Mother will be what?
Was ist passiert? Warum waren da nochmal 2 Wirbel?
You've lost.
Ist das C6 Ayaka?
To think I'd lose to my own 2 kids.
We are no children of yours, and we'll never call that place our home.
Then tell me, what did you do all this for?
Abfuck.
You lost your mother, and will soon kill your father as well. What will you gain in the end, other than sentences for your crimes?
We will gain our long-awaited justice.
Ooh. Headshot.
It's over.
Finally, it's over. So, where will you go now, Tulip?
I'm not too sure, Iris. Maybe somewhere with lots of flowers? After all, Mother always did love going where the blossoms were. What about you?
I want to go visit Mother's grave.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Huh? Tulip, look!
What is it?
It's Mother's favorite. The rainbow rose. Look, it's blooming again.
Excellent! That was beyond mesmerizing. Even I didn't expect the scene to go so well. And we got it in a single take.
Ihr müsst ihn noch mal erschießen, er läuft weg. Ah.
All right, everyone. We've got a wrap for Tulip and Iris.
Congratulations, Ayaka and Chevres.
Gute Arbeit, damit sind eure Dreharbeiten abgeschlossen.
Thank you. I didn't expect our parts to wrap so quickly. I wish I could savor the experience for just a bit longer. Paimon totally understands. Paimon's not ready to say goodbye to the clapperboard either. Filming has really been a lot of fun.
Paimon ist echt mit den einfachsten Sachen zu begeistern. Sie hat einfach nur den Filmklang gemacht, einmal pro Szene dieses Klick. Und das ist schon das, was sie begeistert. Ich möchte es öfter machen, ich will sie behalten.
You were great too, Chevres. The way you said long-awaited justice. It gave Paimon chills!
That is indeed my favorite line in the whole book. I still remember trying to act it out in my room the first few times I read it.
Whoa! Paimon would have never guessed you're that type.
Who doesn't like stories where the guilty are punished and justice prevails over evil? Don't forget, I'm the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
Kann ich so zustimmen. Deswegen bin ich ein echter Sacker für so Mann war's, Alter, wo es darum geht, dass irgendjemand... Er wurde gemobbt, er wurde fertig gemacht, er stirbt wegen irgendwas. Und dann wird er teilweise in der Zeit zurückgedreht oder sowas. Ist dann viel stärker und haut natürlich dann die Typen, die ihn vorher fertig gemacht haben, einfach voll auf die Nuss. Jeder, der wo sich mit ihm anlegt, kriegt ein paar aufs Dach, Alter, voll meistens so böse und sowas. Ey, ich liebe solche Mangas, Manhwas oder sonst irgendwas, wo halt solche arroganten Penner aufs Dach kriegen.
Captain, I have something urgent to report.
Please excuse me, everyone. I'll be back in just a moment.
It's okay, don't worry about us.
Oh? Was she whisked away by work already? I was just about to tell her how great she did.
It seemed like some urgent official business.
Then perhaps we should thank the stars that we were able to wrap both of your parts so quickly today. Switching around the filming schedule would have been a real pain. Anyway, I actually came over to let everyone know that we're all done for today. You can go home and get some rest.
Ja, mir wahrscheinlich
And
nicht.
one last thing, Miss Ayaka. Your acting skills today were immaculate as always. Are you sure you won't consider taking up full-time acting? See, I just happen to know this great troupe that's still looking for a lead actress.
Das wär's jetzt, Alter, dass die Ayaka einfach dann aufs Inazuma abhaut und dann einfach hier bleibt als
Thank you for
Schauspielerin.
your kind words, Director Farina. Unfortunately, there are still many matters that I have to take care of back home at the Yashiro Commission. I cannot remain in Fontaine to pursue an acting career.
Ach komm, der Ayato kann doch das selber alles machen.
Nevertheless, I will make sure to treasure this incredible opportunity in my heart.
Oh, that's a shame. But I understand. Just let me know if you ever change your mind.
Wahrscheinlich werden sie dir ständig irgendwelche Angebote schicken.
I believe it's also about time for me to take my leave. But hopefully I'll see you on set over the next few days. Even though my part's wrapped, I'd still like to swing by and help out the crew. See you tomorrow, Traveler and Paimon.
Yep, see you tomorrow!
Also wenn ich die Ayaka immer so sehe in so Szenen und solchen Sachen, die wo mal sie aus ihrem Haus rausbringen und aus ihren anderen Sachen halt, was sie so üblicherweise machen muss, wünsche ich mir echt, dass wir sie ständig in anderen Ländern sehen. Liebe fehlt ja noch und Mondstadt. Vor allem Mondstadt wäre doch auch ganz lustig. Und dann halt... War die in Sumeru? In Sumeru war sie nicht. Nee, das war die Yoimiya. Am besten
What should
überall.
we do next? Maybe we'll go investigate the case some more with Shivers today.
Traveler, Paimon, please come with me.
Huh? Where are we going?
You could say that our ship has finally chanced upon one of those small, remote islands of Intel.
Und ich muss zugeben, ich hätte auch gerne mal wieder Lust, was mit der Genshin zu machen. Denn hat die jetzt eigentlich bewusst meistens immer ihre Sachen neben irgendwelchen Teleportern setzen? Weil das ist relativ oft jetzt, ne? Oder ich denk's bloß.
Paimon's exhausted. Paimon definitely didn't expect having to float this far after a full day of filming. So, Chevres, why did you take us here?
Hast du neue Hinweise?
Affirmative. It wasn't anything conclusive, but it should show us a clear way forward. Have you ever heard of someone by the name of Emily?
Oh, you mean that famous perfumer?
Was?
She's a good friend of mine. She's lent me her aid several times in the past to resolve some difficult cases. After I discovered the rainbow rose at the scene of the murder, I sent it to her. After all, she's probably the foremost expert on flowers and scents in all of Fontaine.
And then?
There was nothing remarkable about the flower or the trace amounts of soil left on it. But according to Emily, the rainbow rose left by the killer was derived from a very rare cultivar.
Huh. Paimon didn't know that there were different varieties of rainbow rose. Paimon just thought they grew everywhere in the wild.
Flowers that are deliberately cultivated will always show some different features from those that bloom in the wild. We already knew that the rose left at the scene belonged to a special cultivar, but with Emily's expertise, we were able to pinpoint the place where it was first picked from.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. So whoever first planted that rainbow rose was probably the killer.
Precisely. And after we checked what we learned against some sales records from the past, we discovered that there's only one person in all of Fontaine who could grow and sell this specific cultivar.
Really? And who is it?
It's the novelist.
Alter, echt? Wie hat er das gemacht?
But didn't you say he had an alibi?
To be clear, I haven't changed my mind about him. I still don't think he was the one who pulled the trigger. However, that doesn't mean the true culprit never visited him at his home or never purchased a rainbow rose from his garden.
Stimmt auch wieder.
Whatever the case, we will have to confirm a number of things with him.
So you mean the next place we need to go is...
Yes, we're going to pay him a visit at his home.
Oh nein. Oh doch. Oh, der Wunder gleich hier. Ich dachte mir schon, was sollen wir dann hier? Ich hab mich jetzt, wenn ich ehrlich bin, nicht gewundert. Ja, ich lasse auch immer mein Zeug einfach mitten in der Wildnis stehen, wo massenhaft Monster, Viecher und sonst irgendwelche Dinger vorbeikommen.
That should be his house.
Alter, wie viele Gardemex rennen hier rum?
There are so many Gardemex stationed around the place. That's pretty unusual, right?
According to what he told me last time we spoke, he hired them so he won't be harassed or disturbed.
Huh. So there are a lot of flowers in his garden, but Paimon doesn't think we'll be able to pick one without alerting the Gardemex.
Vielleicht hat er Roppending angezogen.
Right. Which is exactly why I think there has to be a special connection between him and the killer.
So, should we knock?
Just wait here for now. I'd like to take care of a number of those Gardemex first.
But they're so far away. How are you planning to do that?
Puff Puff.
Don't forget, Paimon. I'm actually the real-life captain of the Musketeers.
Und hört man das nicht? Spielen wir es nicht jetzt? Oh, Hitman. Du hast Zieltasten, um zu zielen. Schießt das und gucken, das Ziel abzufeuern. Soll ich auf die Dinger spielen? Achso. Okay, damit gibt's auch keinen Crit. Wie die das halt einfach ignorieren. Super Gardemex, also echt geil. Du schießt auf die und die laufen halt einfach weiter, so passt schon. Ich kann ihn nicht sehen, dann kann ich ihn auch nicht angreifen.
All clear. Let's go.
Also deswegen eigentlich dieses Klappauge?
Wait. Paimon's a little nervous now that we know he could be the killer. Can we go over our plan of action again?
I'll go knock on the door and make sure it's safe inside. Once we're sure that we're in the clear, I'll ask him to come with us for a quick round of questioning at the guard's headquarters.
But can't we just arrest him?
We still have no evidence that he's the killer, or that he lent the killer any direct aid. Still, it would be appreciated if you could pick a rainbow rose from his garden for me while I'm talking to him. It'll help the Marechaussee Phantom confirm Emily's theory.
Sure, no problem. Just be careful, Chevres.
Ich glaube, die kann auf sich selber aufpassen. Oh. Sollen wir so weit hingehen? Oh ja, sollten wir sogar.
Excuse me, Mr. Baptiste, are you home?
Who could it be at this hour?
Oh, it's you, Officer Shavras.
Would you mind accompanying me to the guard's headquarters, Mr. Baptiste? We would like to ask you some questions about a case.
Oh, is it still regarding the murder case from before?
I cannot confirm or deny that at this time.
So it is then.
Listen, I need you to come with me, Mr. Baptiste.
Babsi.
Miss Shavras, I'll save you the trouble. Oh, and you two over there? There's no need for you to pick my flowers either. It's not time for them to bloom yet.
Oh! Okay.
By saving me the trouble, you mean...
I will confess, I was the killer.
Huh?
Nee, der verteidigt den Killer.
He just admitted he's guilty.
Ja, wir haben auch Ohren.
Please relax, everyone. I'm not armed. The musket you're looking for has been buried in my backyard.
Then it's my responsibility to inform you, Mr. Baptiste, that everything you say right now will be used as evidence for the inevitable trial.
Yes, I am perfectly aware of that.
I must say, I hate this feeling.
Oh? Is it because I confessed? Or because you've been proven wrong?
Both, I suppose.
Der Mann am Fluorescendre? Warum hast du ihn getötet?
For the same reason as the one I wrote out in my novel, of course. I did it to exact revenge. I know you haven't figured out the link between the two of us. Had you done so, I'd have been taken away to the headquarters a long time ago. But that won't stop me from always remembering his grotesque face. After all, he was the one who killed my mother.
Your mother is still healthy and well.
You know, I was adopted as a child. I was referring to my birth mother.
That was never recorded in the orphanage's records.
Please forgive a 6-year-old child for concocting some lies to protect himself after watching his mother die right in front of him.
So, your novel, it was like a record of your life?
No, of course not. It was a work of fiction with many embellished parts. But I am indeed the illegitimate son of a wealthy and influential man who abused his power to murder my mother. That part.
But the man you killed didn't have a Mora to his name.
He was a hired assassin, an irredeemable beast who sank his fangs into a defenseless woman just for a few bags of Mora.
But if that's really the truth, you wouldn't be telling us any of this now. You still haven't managed to take revenge against your father, the true mastermind behind it all.
I never thought I'd hear that kind of thing from the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
I'm simply skeptical about your motives.
It's simple, really. I've grown tired of everything and don't want to shoulder this burden anymore. You may have considered me too soft to pull the trigger. Well, as it turns out, you are exactly right. I've become overwhelmed by the aftermath of the murder.
So you're going to call a stop to your revenge, just like that?
The true mastermind is too rich and too powerful for me. I've accepted that I will never be able to avenge my mother alone.
War der Typ, der die Kohle eigentlich zahlen wollte?
And so what? The characters in your book never gave up.
Now, Officer Shavras, I'm the one who has killed a man, aren't I? Are you trying to convince me to commit another crime?
What's your father's name? How do you plan to prove the veracity of all of your claims?
Well, I'd like to speak with you privately.
Sure. Why don't we speak privately at the guard's headquarters?
No, it has to be here. I must ensure that we won't be overheard.
Fine. Let's talk here.
When I said won't be overheard, I meant...
Ich dachte mir jetzt auch, Alter, wir stehen doch noch hier, Alter. Du kannst einfach, okay, dann reden wir hier.
I would like to speak with you and you alone.
Wir können zuerst woanders hingehen.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Please stay safe, Shavras.
All right. Let's hear it.
Ja, dafür hören halt mir zu, passt schon.
Will you really believe what I'm about to say?
Well, that depends on what you're going to tell me.
Er ist eigentlich ein Dinosaurier.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Then listen closely.
Oh, fuck, wir dürfen doch nicht zuhören.
So that's how it's all connected.
So, it seems you believe me after all.
Do you want me to go public with this?
No, of course not. At least, not right now.
Then why did you bother telling me?
You've read my work. What do you think? Even if you were to go public with all of this right now, he'd simply deny everything. It's been too long. Almost 20 years. Anything that could be used as evidence has long faded away. Even if there might have been a solitary island of truth once upon a time, it has long sunk beneath the waves by now.
Deswegen hat er auch das Doppelte geboten. Als er gehört hat, dass die dieses Stück aufführen wollen, erinnert es ihn wahrscheinlich an dem, was damals passiert ist. Oder irgendwie so. Und dann hat er das zurückgezogen, damit sie es nicht aufführen können.
Justice will never find him.
Not if you don't try.
I know that as the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, you will always stand on the side of justice. But do you really think a cushy life in prison really constitutes justice for him? I bet he could lead an extremely comfortable life in the fortress of Meripede.
What are you trying to say?
I've been observing you from a distance. Your portrayal of the musketeer was exquisite. Pull the trigger of justice against him. Let the villain get what he deserves.
Will sie ihn überzeugen, dass sie ihn umbringen?
You want me to let you go so you may complete your revenge?
No, Officer Chavras. I know that would be impossible. No. What I'd like is for you to perform the deed on my behalf.
Naja, als ob sie das machen könnte. Inzwischen ganz in der Nähe.
Oh, Chevra sure is taking her time. What could they be talking about anyway? Oh, Paimon's worried. What if he decided to attack her?
Ich habe vollstes Vertrauen in Kampffähigkeiten von Chevre Rose. Wenn überhaupt, würde ich mir so Sorgen um ihn machen.
Oh, you do have a point. Still, do you have any idea who the rich person might be? And why the novelist doesn't want us to hear what he's saying to Chevres?
Passt schon, ich habe alles rausgefunden.
Sorry to keep you waiting, you two.
Hey, how did your talk go?
Herausgefunden, wer die reiche Person ist, die er erwähnt hat?
I've already sent someone to escort Baptiste back to the headquarters for questioning. He wasn't lying about the musket. It was indeed buried in his backyard.
But what about the name? Did he tell you the name of the rich guy?
Yes, he did. But for now, I have to return to the Special Patrol. There are still a few loose ends I need to tie up.
Es läuft ja, anscheinend will sie uns etwas verschweigen. Sie will jetzt aber nicht wirklich
I'll
den
probably
abknallen.
be quite busy over the next few days, so apologies if you don't see me on set.
All right, Paimon understands if you can't tell us everything you know. We'll just keep an eye on the Steambird then.
Actually, there's still something else I need your help with.
Ich würde ihn umlegen. Dritter Akt abgeschlossen. Die einsame Insel betrachtet durch den Nebel. Ja, das war's dann schon leider. Schweinerei. Hä? Warum zur Hölle stehen zwei davon hier? Ja, Silence, Bitches. Spürt mal einen fetten Wasserstrahl der Gerechtigkeit. Weißt du, kaum ist der Typ verhaftet, bauen die hier vorne eine Zelle auf. Er wird sofort ausgenutzt, dass das Haus wieder leer ist. Fontaine ist sehr schnelllebig. Kaum ziehst du aus dem Haus aus, Alter, sind schon die Schatzjäger drin. Die sind ja überall. Kein Wunder, dass der Garde Megastar hatte. Ich meine, hier ist diese ganze Gegend ist innerhalb von 5 Sekunden total verroht, ey.